Are you a contender? Or are you just brumming around? Find out now on Brummin' Around with your host, Brum James.
Welcome to Brummin' Around, a Heisman hopeful podcast where I interview a coach about all things Heisman hopeful. Along with my questions, fan questions are sprinkled in to give all users the opportunity to get in the heads of some of the best and worst college coaches in the game. Oh, we got something good for you today.
Hey, ladies and gentlemen, Brum James here with Brummin' Around. Today's show takes us to the Pacific Northwest, near the Pacific Coast, the team that held the number one position in the polls for a lot of the season. Today we're going to Eugene to catch up with Oregon and Coach Fats. Welcome to the show, Fats. How goes it, my man?
I'm all right, bro. How you doing, man?
Doing all right, man. So, hey, I got some questions for you. Got some from me, got some from the fans. You ready to rock?
I'm ready to rock.
All right, first of all, I want to say congrats on your success so far up in Oregon. Maybe not what you wanted with a couple of losses, but overall, how do you feel 9 games into the season at Heisman hopeful?
Man, I feel great coming in. The 2 losses was tough losses. Personally I made a couple bad calls, but just moving forward, I feel like I got a couple more user games, and I'm feeling good about those. I'm feeling like as long as we can take care of business like we should be in the playoffs.
Yeah, we're going to get more into those decisions a little bit later. But first, we're going to jump right into a fan question. The first fan question I have, do you feel any kind of pressure at Oregon?
I do feel the pressure. You know, it's a win now team. And if we don't win now, we're gonna be under the gun until we win.
Right, I got you. Hey, so you've dominated much of the season. You beat Louisville, you beat Clemson, both on the road, and you pretty much beat the shit out of them. Turned around, beat down Oregon State. How did it feel starting off 5-0 and jumping into that number 1 ranking early?
It felt good. But it was always the pressure. I knew I still had Ohio State. I knew I still had Michigan, which is, 2 great programs with two great coaches. And then even like moving to the back end, I still got to see Washington and Wisconsin. And, I think we're favored to win, but we still got to come out there and take care of business.
Right, we're talking about Ohio State, man. First year in the Big Ten. The Buckeyes come in. You guys are in a shootout, man, an absolute offensive shootout. You lose by 1. Both teams had turnovers. How did it feel with the build-up to that game to come up just 1 point short at Autzen Stadium?
Oh, man, it was a terrible loss. Let me just say that. We fought. We had a couple plays where I sent in the call was there, and I miscommunicated, and it was all on me. That Ohio game, we should have won that Ohio game, stayed by 21 points. Right. To be totally honest with you, Ohio game, we should have won by 21 points, and I made some bad coaching decisions, and that's why we ended up falling short. So it was a tough loss. My players played hard.
So speaking
in the rain.
Speaking of those critical coaching conditions, probably the most critical, what was on your mind when you decided to go for 2 for the win instead of just 1 to tie?
He scored late in the game, I think right under the 2-minute mark, and I came once he scored. I said, "Hey, we coming down. We're coming down, and we're going for 2. Once we score, we're ending this right here." That was the speech after he scored his last touchdown. Yep. And that's what happened. It wasn't. Everybody knew already that we was going for 2.
Yeah, came up short. Thrilling game. Ohio State wins. You drop a little bit, but then you pick up steam. That bump in the road, you regain focus. You slaughter Purdue. Then you pretty much handle Illinois easily. What was your speech to the locker room, to the team, to regain that focus after the loss to Ohio State?
We came out. If we play our game, we could beat any team in the nation. Any team in the nation. If we come out and play and control the ball and keep down the turnovers, we could beat any team in the nation. And that's what I'm preaching the rest of the year. That's what I'm preaching day in and day out. Control the ball, keep the turnovers down, bend but don't break. Them are rules. When we come out and play like that, I don't think nobody in the nation can beat us.
Right. So you win those games, you're cruising again, starting to climb the rankings again, and now it's time to go play DJ in Michigan at Ann Arbor. There's a lot of trash talking built up, a lot of back and forth. You go into Ann Arbor. It's a defensive matchup, unlike the Ohio State game. Ultimately, you come up short 21-14. What do you think you could have done differently as far as dialing up plays or game planning to pull out the dub against Michigan on the road?
Go deeper in my playbook. The game was crucial. It was a couple things that where we couldn't hear on the audibles, so I kept it simple. I kept it some plays where I should have just went deeper in the playbook because we came down a stretch and again because it was we got mixed up on the routes and we got two interceptions back to back. We threw two interceptions back to back late in the
Right.
game.
Yep. Yep.
But I want to say that Michigan game really the first half was on the players. The first half we the calls was made, we was on every play. You know what I'm saying? I went back and watched film and we missed a lot of open tackles. We had guys in position didn't make tackles. We had a few fumbles that off big plays. It was a lot of stuff made in the first half that was on the players. The second half, the players played in and down in the fourth quarter. I think I didn't trust my players enough in going deeper in my
Right.
playbook.
Right. Right. So you lose 21-14. What was the atmosphere like in the locker room and in the press after that loss to Michigan? Was it a feeling of feeling like you just played yourselves out of the college football playoffs, or you had a tough road to get back? What was it like for your team after that loss?
I think that loss to Michigan made the Ohio State loss feel even worse. And the reason I say that is because Ohio State came into Oregon and beat us. We went into the big house and was down 21 zip and we showed we got a loss, but the beginning of the Michigan game, it was looking like we was gonna get blew out. And it was getting ugly. And we fought and we fought and we got back into it. Where we caught some momentum, I think, going into the next game. I think we caught some momentum because of just the second half that we played in the big house.
Got you. But so there's still positives, right? You beat two ranked teams to start the season in Louisville, who's falling apart, Clemson, who's falling apart as well. But when lining up, they were ranked pretty heavily. You still hold a number 9 ranking. You still got 3 games left. I'm assuming that you're gonna blow out Maryland, beat Maryland pretty easily, right? You got them at home. They're a 4-4 team. They might give you some problems, but I highly doubt it. However, after that, you got to go on the road. You got to see Cary in Wisconsin, and then you got to turn around and play Eric at home. His Huskies are coming into Oregon. It's a rivalry game. Um, what do you have to do to come out victorious in both of those games and hopefully preserve a shot at the college football playoffs?
Protect the ball. I got to keep the turnovers down. I think our defense is playing. I think we have one of the top Heisman candidates at defensive end in Jordan. I think our defense is ready to play. I think we've been standing tall. I think we generate turnovers. We gotta protect the ball. Even I rather get punts than turnovers. If we can turn the turnovers down, I guarantee you, it's not a team in college football who can beat us.
That's funny you mentioned. Funny you mentioned taking care of the ball. Next fan question: what's the plan to take care of the ball for the rest of the season?
Easier routes, better reads. Take away the complication of the passes, stick to the basics. We was just in practice all day, and we've been just changing it down. We've been busting it down. We still got our go routes. We still got our corners and our posters and our but then we changing it down. We got a lot of speed, so we moving, we changing, we going to 5 yard reads and 3 yards and more quick passes just to keep the turnovers down.
Got you. So if all that takes care of itself, right? You take care of all that. Do you still feel like you have a shot at the playoffs?
I do. I feel like I got a shot to win the national championship. I feel like we got a shot. I feel like we have to come. Definitely, we can't lose another game. You know, I do believe that, but I believe that we can win out. We're going to get a spot in the national championship, and I think we're going to come home. I think we're going to end up deep into the playoffs.
Right. So you say you're going to the national championship. Cool. Who's going to meet you there and who wins? Who is going to meet you in the national championship game and who wins that game? You or them?
I think I'm gonna see Florida State. We win by 7.
Florida State, you win by 7. Got it. Hey, one more question for you, Fats. The people want to know what's the deal with your lack of uniform selections at the University of Oregon, known for crazy uniform combos. They said you're running just the green on at home and the white away. What is the deal? Are we going to see some variation?
Yeah, we're gonna see some variations. We was really saving all the good stuff for our playoff run, but we took a few losses. They liked it the white. We only won white one time. Next week we're gonna be exotic. Just look out for us. Next week we'll be exotic for you guys. Don't worry about it. We'll be
Man,
exotic next week.
an exotic uniform against a fellow team that has exotic uniforms in Maryland. I can't wait to see it. Hey, Fats, I appreciate you being here for me. You got anything else you want to say to anybody that could be listening? Talk your shit now.
Here we go. I'm gonna start it off with Alabama. I just want to say this. I got much respect for Nick, and when he retired, I was just like, man, what clown they gonna bring into Alabama to carry this tradition? And this clown that Alabama has now, he's just a clown. He's running around here. He has no class, and I just want to say, he hasn't played anybody, but I hope we see them in the playoffs. I hope we see Alabama in the playoffs. That's what I'm looking for. The red dot is on Alabama. He ain't did nothing but pick on a few turkeys, and we just got to snipe his ass down. And that's really that's about the only people I got a problem with. Everybody else is just football.
I feel you, Fast. I appreciate you being here, man. Appreciate you being on Brummin Around. Hopefully we'll see you in the playoffs.
Shout out to Brummin Around, man. Thank you for having me, bro. I really appreciate it, man. Hey, look. Once I get that first win in the playoffs, man, you make sure you come see me again so I can talk my shit.
Yes, sir. I'll do that. Hey, we'll see you guys next time. Brummin Around. Coach Fats, Brum James, and we doing it.
Yes, sir.
Are they contenders or are they Brummin Around?
I'm out, y'all.
I'm out too.